Welcome to a brief video tutorial on how to use the iMovie software to edit your video for edTPA submission. The first step would be to turn your computer on. And once your computer is on, you will need to open up the iMovie application. Then plug your camera into a power source to be certain that it remains charging while you're importing and exporting your video. Plug the USB cable into your computer and plug the other end of the USB cable into your camera. Okay, once it is plugged in, turn your camera on. Then open up the screen on your camera. And you will see select the type of device for the USB connection displayed on your screen. If you do not see that, look on your camera and you will see a set of options to select. The top right left rectangle will show a picture of the video camera with arrows pointing back and forth. Press that, and when you do, it should say select the type of device for the USB connection. Then below that you will see two options. One says DVD burner and one says computer printer. More than likely, DVD burner will be what is selected and show up as orange. To select computer printer and send your video to the computer, look to the control on the left, circular shaped, and press it to the right, and computer printer should now be highlighted orange. When you see that's the case, press the control, the circular shaped control that says set in, and you'll be selecting to send the pictures to your computer. The camera screen should say creating thumbnails, and wait a few moments and then your computer should show up like this. Depending upon how much video you're sending over will determine how long it will take for the pictures to show up on your computer. In my case, I don't have very much video. So now looking at my video, I have three choices here. When it comes to this part, you'll want to be selective in what you choose to import because this process can be very time consuming. Select manual if it's not already selected. See, this is audio, which doesn't allow me to select or deselect any options. Select manual and these boxes show up. For the purpose of this tutorial, I know I just want to edit from this portion right here. So I would unselect the options that I'm not interested in. And then I will come over here and say import checked. This box will now show up. You'll want to rename the name of the event. The option right here should be selected as large. If not, change it to large and then click import. This process will take quite a bit of time, and while you wait, as you see right here, I'm importing 22 minutes and it says it's going to take about, it fluctuates up and down, 10 minutes or so, maybe 12 minutes or so. So while you wait for this to happen, you can go ahead and work on another portion of your edTPA. As part of the import process, once the time has run out, you will see generating thumbnails show up at the top of the screen, and that is the end of the portion before the videos show up actually in iMovie. Okay, the import is complete. We'll click OK. And done here. And as you can see, the video shows up in the bottom right portion of my iMovie screen. If you could recall, there were 22 minutes of video that I imported. This right here allows me to reduce the 22 minutes or expand the 22 minutes. To a more manageable portion. So for instance, let's go right here And this will allow you to then look through and identify the area that you highlighted as being important and what you would like to include in your clip. Click on the video itself and it creates a yellow box that you can grab one end and expand. If you see, as I'm expanding, the time to the right of it is growing. That is mentioning how much 24.9 seconds is contained within that yellow box. You can push down and jump farther. Say I want 10 minutes and I know that's where it starts. We'll continue till I've grabbed, scroll up, when it says 10 minutes, okay, then we can go up to the beginning of the yellow box and press your space bar, allowing you to watch all of the video contained within the 10 minutes. I can also say, okay, that's the beginning I was interested in, let me check the end. Once pleased with what's in, you can hold down and drag up to this portion of the screen and then let go, and it places that clip right into this area where you can fine-tune it slightly. To grab the end and watch and see, I can do the same thing and press my space bar, and that is where the video ends. In the case where I've decided that the end of the clip is unnecessary and I would like to trim off, say I'm watching and there is where I'd like to trim. Press the space bar, bring the yellow clip back to where you'd like to clip, and then go up to clip, trim to selection, and it will shave off that portion that was outside of the yellow box. Say I no longer want this clip. As long as the yellow box is around it, I can click delete and it no longer exists in this top area. However, it still exists down here. I have not done anything to the part that I've edited, that I've brought in. The editing occurred up in this left-hand corner. So let's take a look again by making it a little bit smaller. And let's grab, say we want 15 minutes, for example. Let's say we watched our video at home and decided the first 2 minutes are undesirable. So what you can do is start the yellow box and fill it until it's full of 2 minutes. And then click again right next to it and place the yellow box there. And as you recall, we want to include 15 minutes. So we keep going. And if you recall on the introduction video that you will have watched, we want to aim for about 1450 so that we don't risk running over the 15-minute limit that I've set. Now, keep in mind, your limit might be different than this. You need to refer to your edTPA video to be certain that you're following the guidelines and specifications as outlined for your edTPA. Let's click on the yellow portion, holding down the space bar, and drag up to this area. We'll click the yellow bar, and we can see we can go all the way. We can also reduce it here and watch the video. Keep in mind, this is a 15-minute video. We're not interested in seeing the whole thing, but for your case, you'd be able to use this to watch the video and be certain that it is including exactly what it is that you wanted to for your edTPA submission. Once you're pleased with the portion that you have up in this upper left-hand corner, you'll go to Share, Export Movie. These options will show up, and you'll want to name it an identifiable name that you'll be able to find. So we'll do edTPA. And we're going to save. For this purpose, we're going to send it to the desktop. However, you'll be saving it, say if you have a USB drive or other various locations. Now remember, once you're done, you'll be uploading it to your live text file manager, and then save a backup copy in another location, for example your USB drive or your drive. Okay, and then we're going to export medium this time and export. Now once again, the exporting process can take some time, not quite as long as importing because you're sending out less amount of video. So take this time to work on another portion of your edTPA, maybe a writing portion, and just keep your eye on making sure everything's going on as it should, but use this time wisely to work on another part of your edTPA. And I'll come back to you when it's done. Okay, the exporting portion is just finishing up. While it does, I was going to mention that remember where you sent the video and make sure to upload it to your live text file manager, and make sure that you have a backup copy of it in a location that you also remember, such as drive or a USB drive. It's also recommended that you check your file type and size and make sure that they are according to the specifications found in the edTPA handbook. I also recommend that you move to another computer if possible, and that you download and view a copy of your video just to be certain that it works, and that you make sure that any computer that you've worked on, the first or the second if you've moved to check your video, has all of the video removed off of it. Once it's uploaded into your live text file manager, drive, and a USB drive, make sure that you remove all video, as it contains pictures of children and would violate their privacy. So, and also do not delete your memory card to your camera. Return it as it is, along with your camera and all equipment, according to any directions that you have received from your instructor or from the department itself. And again, if you have any questions, you can refer to your edTPA handbook or your Making Good Choices document, as well as anytime you have a concern, please discuss it with your instructor before you waste valuable time in completing your edTPA assessment.